Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. It is a Thursday edition, which means it's time for a theater throwback. And when the Maleficent, Mistress of Evil trailer dropped the other night, I thought it only right to watch this movie and then make even more sense to talk about the movie on Thursday. So let's not waste any time, man. Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We are hopping into the time machine, taking it back to 2014 to talk spoiler-free about Maleficent. That's right, man. One of the first live-action Disney movies. Not quite the traditional way we know them now, where they're recreating the cartoons we all grew up watching and loving, but rather taking one of those cartoon movies and stories that we're familiar with and giving it the Wicked treatment. What do I mean by that? Of course, Wicked, Broadway play, came out that kind of told the backstory of the Wicked Witch of the West, which was, of course, how she became what we knew. And what really, really works with Wicked is that it gives you this backstory, it makes you feel for the character, but builds it to the point where she becomes what we all know her to be. So it's not so much that we're, hearing a story that we know, but just not quite. We are hearing the story we know. We're just learning more about that story. And that's what Disney does here with Maleficent. We kind of take it back to when she's a child. We find out that she's, mild spoiler, that she's a fairy. And that's why the horns are there. One of the things I absolutely love about this movie is, the horn headpiece that you assume she wears in, the cartoon to give it, this aspect that she's like this fairy and she has horns that she kind of puts a wrap around. Really, really cool stuff. But we go back to when she's a child, growing up in the moor, which is this wonderful forest where all the forest and fairy creatures live. And the one thing that this movie does spectacularly start to finish is its visual effects. And the stuff we get in the moor, man, it's so rich, it's vibrant, it is beautiful to look at. And it really sets this wonderful stage of building a character that's totally not who we know at all, man. You really feel for Maleficent pretty quick when we start to learn what her story is. And then you kind of start to see the movie take on Cinderella. And like I said, it's stunning visuals all around, man, from the creatures they create, to the special effects around Maleficent and the world that they build. It is really, really wonderful to watch. But as we kind of build into the story of Sleeping Beauty, there's a twist towards the end, which is the thing that I think hurts the movie the most. Rather than taking that true Wicked approach and taking it into the story we know, which seems to be what it's doing most of the way, you get to the third act and find out there's some massive twists to the story where it's like you kind of see if the story was being told by certain people, why it would get to the story that we all know. Problem is, the people that would be telling that story, so the concept is kind of like Maleficent, or not Maleficent, but actually Aurora, is telling us the story of Maleficent. If Aurora knows this story, why is any of the story the old one that we got out at all? So, nitpicky stuff that, kind of in the world building, I just thought that stuff didn't work so much. But remove yourself from Sleeping Beauty altogether, and what you get is a pretty solid, story start to finish. And a fairly good job by Robert Stromberg directing and Linda Wolverton, screenplay writing. But this movie's all about Angelina Jolie. Let's not make any, jokes about it. She crushes this thing, man. She totally gets the look, the vibe, the feel. It really doesn't take Angelina Jolie too long at all for you to just go, yeah, she's totally Maleficent. Like I said, because we start in the moor, we kind of build to her becoming what we see her as, in the beautiful black dress that they give her. But you kind of you feel for this character as you watch it, and I love to watch the look evolve as she kind of becomes more and more evil. And from the look to just the vibe, man, when she's talking, when she's acting, even when she's good Maleficent, she feels wholeheartedly like that character. And it was one of those wonderful things where, Angelina Jolie does a lot of stuff outside of the acting world. And I think she had probably been away for a little bit, kind of reminiscent of what we're getting right now. Away for a little bit, boom, coming in with Maleficent. And showing you that she, is still one of the greats. She really can put on a character performance, and this one she just nails start to finish. The reason I like the movie at all, is because Angelina just absolutely nails it. And her on-screen chemistry, with her supporting cast is really, really awesome. I love her relationship with Elle Fanning, who plays Aurora, and I love the story concept that they kind of take between their relationship and how it builds and how it becomes what it is, and things that make Maleficent redeeming in a lot of ways in this movie. It's because, she really works well on screen with Elle Fanning, and I think Elle Fanning just totally captures the innocence of Aurora, and I really dug the way that she kind of approached the role and delivers a fairly, again, really solid performance. Then, of course, there's Sharlto Copley. You would be familiar with him from District 9, Chappie. I think he's in Elysium. Been in a bunch of stuff. I love this dude. And they have him play Stefan, who, is kind of a character we meet early on in Maleficent, who becomes the king of the realm, who, of course, is Aurora's father. And the way they build that story, which is really the center and the heart of this movie, really, really, really done well. And I just love Sharlto Copley. He's such a fascinating guy to watch on screen, and he really adds a lot to this character that didn't have a whole lot going for him prior to Copley stepping in and being, Stefan. I really, really liked his approach. I loved how they used the character and what he delivers. Just a really, really solid performance. And then Sam Riley, who plays Diaval. Diaval is the crow that we all know that's always on Maleficent's shoulder, that's kind of like her eyes, and they kind of build that into the fact that, as a fairy, when she had wings, when she loses them, obviously because she doesn't have wings in Sleeping Beauty, by learning more about Diaval, we find out that he is, kind of her wings, so that, he can go and see things that she can't in a much quicker way. And the way they use that character is really, really cool, and I really like Sam Riley's performance. He doesn't get a ton of screen time, so these really subtle, nuanced things that he does on screen that you just go, oh man, that was really, I like that. And like I said, the way they use his character, I think works really well in the context of the story, but also kind of plays into the stuff that's different about the way you thought this movie would probably end by the end of it. And like I said, all around, there's a whole bunch of different people in here. Imelda Staunton, Leslie Manville, Juno Temple. Everybody, they play the three, fairies that kind of protect Aurora as she grows up toward her 16th birthday. I thought they're really, really funny. When they're on screen, you do get, the sense of humor that they have, and the tips of the cap and stuff to the Sleeping Beauty story we know that involve them are really, really cool. And then, again, very, very visually interesting when they're their fairy selves. So ultimately, man, what you get here is a really, really great set of character performances led by Angelina Jolie in a movie that just stuns you with its visuals. The visuals and the action, the way she flies and moves, it's just all beautiful to watch. But like I said, that twist in the end kind of stumbles it up where you're like, well, then why does the story that we're referencing exist at all? I just didn't think they handled that stuff too well. But overall, I thought, Maleficent was pretty solid. Now, I am interested to see how we get to Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, being that they kind of leave her off in a pretty, positive place. So there you go, man. Our theater throwback. Those are all of my thoughts on Maleficent. Now I want to know what you're thinking, man. What did you think or like or dislike about Maleficent? Did you think the wicked approach with the twist at the end worked or didn't work? How much did you love Angelina Jolie? The visual effects, everything you were thinking about the movie, please leave down below. Also, let me know what you're thinking about Mistress of Evil, man. Are you excited for Maleficent 2? Are you intrigued? Are you not sure about things? Just leave all of that down in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, you want to come hang along with the Seaman and check out all our adventures over here, you gotta go hit that subscribe button, man, and then the little bell that follows so you get alerts every time I make a new video. The Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. I'm the Seaman. I'm signing off. Peace. Well, if you aren't still here, looking for something else to check out that's Seaman related, why don't you check out a video like this guy or this guy? And if you really want to help the Seaman out in year 2, hit that subscribe button and come join the Cinema Sit Down squad, kids. You know what to do. See ya.